morning. How's everyone doing today? My name is Gina and I'm doing great. Anybody ever used to do that when they were a kid? Like have their hand be a little monster? I used to do that. Okay. Let's see what's inside this thing, shall we? Ooh, look at the little wormies. Yeah. Ooh, look at all the goodies. Wow. I'm not being sponsored. Let me get that out of the way. This is the Premier box. So it is the little bit more expensive box. And so it does have a little bit of extra things in it than the regular old box. So let's just dive in. Let's see what we've got. We have, oh, it's a little it's saying watercolor cup. Watercolor cup. Say that fast. 5. Watercolor cup. Watercolor cup. What do we got? What is all this magical stuff? Oh, art crayons. Get out. They're watercolor crayons. Wow. By Marabou. I don't know if I've ever had, oh look, and then there's a tutorial video online that you can watch to give you some ideas of what to do. Whoa. So we have some pinks there. These are pinkish colors. So we've got orange, chili, pomegranate, and pink. And then we have these, I would call them, what are they calling them? Green Jungle, and this one was called Lovely Red, and so this is Sunshine Yellow, Kiwi Apple, and Aqua Green. So that's nice colors. So we've got at least the primary colors here, right? We've got a red, a blue, and a yellow, so we can make pretty much any color we want with those. This is going to be so much fun to play with these. What else do we have? These worms, I promise, they're just like in the way. Ooh.
Move along, nothing to see here.
This is another art crayon in black. Okay. Oh, and a white one? Yes. Y'all, I've never ever used these. I do have some crayons. I'm trying to remember what crayons I do have. I know I have the Distress crayons by Tim Holtz. I do have those, and I really do like those. The last time I used those was probably in October, I think it was. Listen, we've got a brush here. Ooh, this is a Princeton Select. These, now Princeton, from what I understand, you know, I'm a newbie at watercolors, so I don't know quite a lot about brushes and such. But I do know Princeton is a nice brand of watercolor brushes. So, I'm excited to get a new brush. That's exciting. Let's see. Oh, yay. Okay, here is what we have. This is, they're going to tell us what we, more in detail. Let's see. What is this? This is watercolor paper, probably. Strathmore. Okay, now, do I have Strathmore? I have Canson. And I've used Strathmore. I think Strathmore is what I use in my mixed media paper, I do believe. So we're going to try this out. This is Series 500, which I think is supposed to be one of the better of the Strathmore family. Let's see. This is, what size is this? This is an 8x10, so that's a nice size. It's cold pressed, so it's going to have a little bit of texture to it, which is nice, and it is 100% cotton. So this should be really good paper. So I'm very excited to try this paper out, because with my saga with bee paper, I need to find some affordable paper to use until bee paper gets their footing back. So that's going to be excited to use that. And I think that's all we have in here. So I'm very excited. I've got a new medium. Again, the only crayons that I have are the Tim Holtz crayons, the Distress crayons. And I don't know if they are going to be the same or not. But let's see. So they are wax-based soft pastel in a a sturdy, fully loaded, retractable holder. So let's see. It works well on raw or primed surfaces such as paper, canvas, fabric, or wood. That's very interesting. So these are worth $14.99 each, and I got 2 of those. So wow. And then the black and white one is $3.99 each. So that's a good deal. Okay, this paper is pre-cut, so they're trying to sell that's a good thing, an 8x10, which it is. If you cut it in half, you're gonna have a 4x5. So and it's 100% cotton. It's archival, so that's good too, and it's acid free. So, and it's available in hot press as well if you like the more smooth texture. And then here's the brush. It's made to last. Whoop. And that's pretty much all they're saying. It's worth $5.95. And then this is the water brush, and it's 85 cents. So that's kind of cool to use that. So I'm really excited, y'all, to play with these guys. Because like I said, the only ones I have are the distressed inks. So I'm just wondering if they work the same. And then, of course, Paletteful Packs, they have a 4-week, whatever you want to call this, a 4-week prompts. So week 1 is jealous, week 2 is wrapped, week 3 is new, and week 4 is romantic. So, and I believe this is for February. I believe this is the February box. So, yeah. All right. So, let me open this up and let me get my swatch book, and we're going to swatch these out just to play and see how they blend and all that goodness, okay? So let me get everything open. I don't think I'll use this paper for the swatching. I'm going to get my swatch book because I want to use that paper for when it's time to create. And I think I already have a kind of an idea of what I want to do. So, but let's swatch. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and just put them all down. The texture of these is not like crayons at all. It's very smooth, and buttery is a very good description, and I believe that's what they used. So it goes on very smooth. Now I'm going to get my brush, and let's just see how well these actually do activate. Oh yeah, that's nice. We don't need a hair there. Okay, that's pretty groovy.
Hey man, that's groovy.
Alright, and then of course we'll need to... Now remember, this is not watercolor paper. This is more mixed media paper. But it seems to be working fine. It does look like, though, if you do little squiggle marks like what I did, it may not necessarily blend very well. You see how you can still, here, let me scoot y'all in. You see how you can still kind of see where I went up with them? So we gotta think about that. Alright, so let me just finish this up. Okay, so I have a palette, and what I want to try to see is if we can like take, let's say we take this yellow, and let's take this bluish, greenish color, and then let's take our brush and some of this water. So they do mix pretty well like that, but let's see. So it would be a very light wash if we do that, because I would have a feeling that you would need to use a lot of this in here, right? In order to get a lot of pigment. Let's just see how it goes. I made it a little darker. So you would have to be mindful of that, I would think, like if you wanted more color. It's a pretty green. I like that green. It's pretty. Same thing with the others, like if we want to make purple, let's take this red or the chili. Let's just put down a whole bunch of it, right? And then let's put some of this blue. This is about the only blue we have, but it should work. And then let's mix that together. And let's see what we get with it. See, it just doesn't make a whole lot though. It's a pretty gray. If we wanted more red in it. That's more mauve-y. So, and I don't know about making it totally watercolored because, I mean, it does, I mean, you can mix them, it's just hard. Like, okay, let's say, what if we wanted to make like a little rosebud here, right? And these are awfully fat too, so we're going to think about that. And we'll just do a little, this guy over like this. Then we take our brush, blot it so it's not. And again, this is not watercolor paper too, but it does have a texture to it. Okay, and then let's just take, we'll take this green to make the stems and such at the bottom. Okay, so we do have something like that. So, you know, it's a medium that you have to get used to. Because again, if you make little squiggly marks, because this is almost dry, you can see them through it. So it's kind of like the watercolor pencils. Because if you do that same thing with the watercolor pencils, you're going to be able to see them. So I'm wondering, like, if we just go like this, just take our, and just, instead of going on the side, go up, like up and down like that. So you have the broadest part. And then we can see what we get. That does work a little better, it looks like. Right, that's not too bad right there. I just would like to be able to I mean, it's interesting. Alright. Kind of dig it. Kind of dig it. Alright, so now that we've done our swatching and I had our fun with playing with the medium, I do like, however, like these are dry. I do love the softness, I guess is the word I'm looking for when we combine these on the palette, right? Let me try one more thing before I decide what I want to do with these. And I'm going to do something that's going to hurt my soul, but I'm just curious. Like, what if we took a palette knife, and I might need to get my metal one out, but we'll try this guy, and just take like a hunk off? Can we even do that? I don't think that's... Let me try my metal one. I think that is the one I'm gonna need. I don't know if I want to do this. This hurts me. I feel like I'm destroying. Like, maybe just get a little bit, not a big old hunk, but just enough, right? And because there is a lot in there. I mean, you know. But I don't want to be wasteful. And then maybe do the same thing, just a little bit of the blue. That way we have more of that than trying to just rub this onto the palette. And then let's take our paint and kind of just see if we can't. I mean, you can do it to where, you know, you don't necessarily have to dissolve all of this, but just get you enough on there. Because I still have little pieces in there, but I think that's fine, because then if you do need it, you can have it, you know. Just need more water. I like this color though. I mean, it is different than watercolor. It's kind of cool though. Kind of dig it. It's kind of cool. I just feel like it probably needs way more water. But that's one way to do it if you want a whole lot and if you want more pigment. See how that's way more pigmented than that? So, I mean, it's very much more pigmented. So that works to do it that way. Okay. We can just keep adding water to it to get even, you know, if we want it less opaque. So it's kind of okay, kind of groovy, kind of dig it.
Can you dig it?
Alright, and then this is dry, so let's see if it works like watercolor though. Like once it's dry, can we just go back and reactivate it and use it again? Looks like it came back to life. Yep. So that's cool. So even if you did do something like this, where you used little pieces to create a more deeper color, then when it dries, you can go back and reactivate it with water just like you would watercolor. So you're not wasting it, you know, if you feel like that's going to waste it by cutting little bitty pieces off. So that's kind of cool. This is neat. Okay, so pretty colors. I like the colors. It's just a very weird medium to me because I've never really used it. Not in doing anything but maybe coloring in a little bit of something, you know. So let me check one more thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Every time I think I'm ready to move on, I think of something else I want to see. Like what if we, you know, like watercolor pencils, you can take water and you can just go on the edge like this and grab you some of the water, not the water, but the pigment. Okay, that works here in this case as well. I mean, I don't know what that's going to do with this crayon once it dries. I don't know if it's going to hurt it. Like with watercolor pencils, it doesn't affect it. It just gives it a light wash, just like it would if you're just putting it on, scribbling on a palette, which is probably what I would recommend doing. But then again, if your brush is more on the dry side, now that my brush is kind of drying out, it is picking up more of the pigment, it seems. So but then again, now my brush is totally almost dry and it's not, you know. So you'd have to play with that. But it's almost like a watercolor pencil. So, but I would say with the effect, and just to make sure that you're not hurting your crayon, I would just scribble some, just like this, in your palette. And then just barely dip your brush in water. And it will give you the same effect. See? And your brush then is wet enough where you can get your fine lines. And then, yeah, see, yeah, and then you're not messing up your crayon. Not that I think that would mess it up. I don't really think it will. And then again, when this dries, you can just reactivate it with water. So you're really not wasting anything. So this is a pretty cool little medium. I'm excited to give it a try with watercolor paper just to see how it does. So I want to think about what I want to do with it because I do have a couple of ideas that I want to try. And yeah. All right. So I will be back when I get a more straight on idea of what I want to do. I had a couple of ideas. One was to use a stencil and kind of ghost effect type thing, and I tried that and it did not work. You'll see a little bit of that near the end of the video. I just wanted to show you what the colors look like once they were good and dry. So then I went to plan B, which was kind of to do doodle flowers, right? So I just took the crayons and I made sure that I kept them vertical so that there weren't the sharp lines by using the corner. And I just pretty much blocked out some blobs, right? And then I took my brush and just dipped it in water and kind of just went over that and activated it to make it more smooth. And then I thought, well, that worked pretty good. So let me try the technique of using like little dots and creating little cute little flowers that way. So this worked pretty well, except for the fact that you can see where I put the dot, right? I wasn't too crazy about that, but it did work. And in the end, I knew that I was going to be using black anyway because I wanted it to be doodle flowers. And so I was like, I know I'm going to end up covering that up anyway. So I wasn't really too bothered by that. I just can't explain how this medium works. I really can't. I really dug working with them. And, they're not like crayons and they're not like watercolors. They're a hybrid. So, of course, I just had to give myself a break and just play and not be too worried if, what it turned out to look like. But I will say in the end, I really do like the way that it turned out. So I'm just creating the leaves, and I'm pretty much doing it the same way that I did with the flowers, just kind of coloring it in, and then I'm using water to reactivate it and to blend it all together, which worked pretty well. So, there's some parts you'll see later on that I do use these more like a watercolor, and I think that's what I really liked about it, is that you can use it as a crayon, but then you can also use it totally as like a watercolor. So, but now this is where I goofed up. So I thought, well, maybe if I get a sponge and wet it, I can kind of blend it out. That didn't work. So then I went with my brush and a lot of water to get rid of those little swirly lines. So if I had to do it over again, I would just put that color on my palette and create like what I'm doing right now. Because at this point I'm like, okay, you cannot do that. And then just use as much water as you need to get the wash and the color that you need. So that's the one thing that bummed me out was, I did the little squiggle marks, but I thought that I was vertical enough that you wouldn't see jagged edges, and that was not the case, as you can see. So it kind of made me sad. But I continue on and just go further on down the page, as you can see. Now, this does not blend quite like watercolors do. And that's okay. It is crayons, so, you got to forgive some things. So I just added a little bit of yellow to that blue to make like a green color. And my thought was this will look like grass. So I wanted to go vertical with my strokes and not horizontal. And I'm just putting a few colors, the green colors on top of it. Just to, I felt like the first color was a little too light, and I even thought this color was a little too light. So I ended up using all two of the greens to create the green that I really liked, and I ended up being happy with that. So again, I dry, and I'm just like, I have to do something with this top up here. It's just looking crazy. So I thought, well, I'll just put clouds, and I started to just use my brush with water, and then I sprayed it, and I really loved the effect that looked like. So I just left it alone. Now here I'm trying to use the stencil, and my thought was I want to take off some of this color to have these stencils in the background, and it really did not work. But I was like, that's okay. I'll just use the white color again and just spray it with a little bit of water and have it do that texture rope looking thing. It just looks really, really cool. So now I'm going in to do my doodling, and I used the black crayon and just used water. And here I'm contemplating, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? I don't know. And I was like, yes. My whole plan was to do doodle flowers. So yes, I want to do this. So I just took the black there, and I made it more sketchy. I didn't do it like full colors and stuff like that, because I wanted it. I didn't want the black to be so dominant that you couldn't, that's all you really focused on. So I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed the way that the piece came out. And I definitely want to play with these some more because I think they're worth it, and to learn how to use them because they are a really cool medium. They really, really, really are. So the rest of this is just me creating splatters, which I enjoyed doing, and they turned out, I mean, this was the easiest to make splatters out of all the mediums that I've ever done, to be honest. So that was that. And it looks like I put a whole lot on, but I kind of knew that these colors were going to kind of fade away, and they weren't going to be as vibrant once they dried. So I was okay with how much I was putting on there, in case anyone is
like, oh my gosh, you went splatter crazy.
So I was like, Gina, you're going splatter crazy. And then I was like, no, I'm not. It'll be all right. And in the end, it was okay. So, yeah, I'll definitely try these again. I definitely recommend them if you enjoy just using different things. The paper, not a fan of it. It really warped, and, you know, I wasn't happy with it. So, okay, and here is the final product. I really like it. The only thing I'm really bummed about is for some reason I didn't have my tape right down here. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So, c'est la vie. But I really do like it a lot. This medium is really different. But I think if you play with it, you'll be able to get the hang of it. I really do like it. I think the colors are pretty vibrant. And, yeah. I was going to go a different route. Let me show y'all that. And use a stencil, and it quite didn't work out, but I just wanted to show you the colors with a lighter wash and stuff, and I think they're really, really, really pretty. So it does give a nice watercolor effect. I think you just have to, like I said, it's a new medium, and you just have to learn how to play with it. And I think like maybe doing like this, like when I mix the colors to do the splatters, I think once it dries, that'll be perfect, because then it would be more like watercolor at that point, you know, like what you get in the pans. And, you know, I think it'll be easier to use like a watercolor at that point. But just using it straight like a crayon was difficult. So, but yeah, I like it a lot. So I hope y'all like it a lot too. If you're interested in the Paletteful Pack, I'll have the link to their website down below, so you can go check them out. Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed creating and playing today with you. So thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. I would appreciate it. It just will help my channel to grow. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Y'all be good to one another, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.